What's up, everybody? Michael Silva here. I don't usually do these single stock analysis, but I figured I'd come on here today to do some analysis on Tesla. And obviously, there's some big news coming around Tesla being included into the S&P 500 here on December 21st, I believe it is. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a good view as whether, hey, is it the best time to be buying right now, or should you be waiting for pullbacks, or should you be waiting for a breakout potential? When we go over this, I'm going to be using multiple different charts from multiple different time frames. This is going to give us a good picture as to where Tesla stands currently with its current given price action. Then we're going to walk through some patterns and kind of have you draw to your own conclusion. And then we'll also talk about some key levels. So let's just go ahead and let's get into it. All right, welcome back. The first chart that I want to start off with Tesla is the monthly time frame. And first off, this is a linear chart, not a log chart. So bear with me there. I will show log charts after this, but this is really just to show you just how powerful a move this actually was here from, just 2020. So this year we've just seen this massive run up. We've seen the market cap expand to just crazy levels, right? It's taken the market cap of some of the biggest 5 or 6 of the biggest automakers combined. It's nearing that. So it's absolutely incredible move. You can see this strong consolidation, okay? The longer the base, the higher in space. Boom, what do you know? We broke out of this long consolidation, and then we're seeing this big move higher currently this month. Okay, we're up 9.76%. This could really be because of the hype going around the Tesla inclusion into the S&P 500. Now, a couple things I want to mark out. First off, okay, I'm bringing on my overlays of the Bollinger Band, and then also I have a 5 EMA here. Those are some very simple technical indicators that I like to use. And then we have the MACD and the RSI here. So first off, notice this big, strong move of momentum. This big, green, just strong, solid candle. Okay, this is a monthly time frame, right? So monthly candle moving up. Now what we're seeing right here is known as a star. More specifically, it's a bearish star. Now, what is a bearish star? Well, first off, you need to understand that the star is typically formed when there's a long, aggressive green body, then you have a big gap up, which we did, and either some continuation or some indecision taking place. So you got to understand the psychology here of what's really taking place. We have strong bullish momentum, but that bullish momentum is kind of dying out here. So you're seeing a lot of bears step up with the longer upper wick, and you notice it with the long lower wick, meaning that when we opened up here, we were all the way down here at a particular point in time, meaning that the bears showed some strength. So that has to be notified. Now, the bulls stepped in, obviously, and then we're right back up, way up here, but there's still somewhat of a long upper wick. So this is known as a bearish star. It's just creating the potential atmosphere for the bears to get stronger. Now, a couple things I want to note is we are completely disconnected from the 5 EMA. All right, this is the most frequently tagged EMA. And as you can see, just looking back through history, you can see every month it's pretty much tagging it. Very rarely. This one was extended by the upper Bollinger Band and then came back really quickly and tagged it. But what we're seeing here is very similar to here. You have trading outside of the upper Bollinger Band, and then you have that re-tag. So what am I saying here? Well, first off, let's map out some levels. Okay, I'm not just saying that it's going to correct itself right out of the gate. But first off, we're making a new high on relatively weak strength. So a new high on less strength, relative strength. Now, it's a bearish type pattern so far. The month isn't over, and we're trading upside the upper Bollinger Band and disconnected from the 5 EMA. That right there sets itself up for not the greatest long position. So that means we can potentially snap back here and reconnect to around $500. That would make sense to me for a good entry point if you're looking to buy a specific dip. Now, we'll get into the shorter time frame, so you might be, if you're a more shorter term trader, but that could be a potential good opportunity to buy a dip to potentially move higher. Now, keep in mind just the overall aggressiveness of this move. Sometimes when you get huge moves like this, you can have very quick corrections, as you saw right here. Big, strong move, and then from 500 came to a low of 325. That's a very aggressive move to the downside. So you need to be prepared for moves like that. All right, that's the monthly time frame. Let's look at the weekly time frame. A while ago, I drew out a rising wedge pattern, and we broke out from that, but that didn't matter. We continued this move up. But on the weekly time frame, what are we starting to notice? Look over here at this zoomed in punch thumbnail or whatever it's called. First off, we had some strong moves, right? Those are these strong bullish green weeks. This is the weekly time frame. So each candle represents a week of data. Then we have what? This hanging man candle right here. You see that long lower wick? That means the bears showed some strength. Then you have this tiny little body. So we gapped up in, you saw a lot of bearish momentum. We tagged the 5 EMA, that acts as support, and then we came up. The next week, what is this? This is a lot of indecision. And then now what we're seeing right here is a longer upper wick in another indecision type body. This right here is a topping type candlestick pattern. This is showing that the bears are starting to gain some strength and or the bulls are losing momentum to the upside. Now, keep in mind, we're still trading above the upper Bollinger Band here, and we might be in tune to reconnect to the 5 EMA. Now, this week is coming to an end here soon. It's Wednesday. We have the Fed meeting that's going to be coming out here in the statement's going to be coming out in an hour, and then Powell's going to be speaking a little bit after that. So anything could potentially happen, and we'll talk about that here on the daily time frame. But just note, these are some this means bears are stepping in up in here, but we have more momentum, more speculation pushing it higher. So overextended levels, we got to be mindful of that, especially if you are looking to go long here. All right, so here is the daily time frame, and I remember marking this out some time ago on Twitter. If you don't follow me there, you can follow me there. Every once in a while I post some charts, which I plan on doing more of here soon, and also doing my live trading into the next year. I'll be doing that. But we posted this symmetrical triangle. It broke out. The target for me was about 500. It reached that, and now we see this kind of consolidation pattern, but it's struggling around 650. Now, on the daily candle right now, we're just below the 5 EMA, and then we have somewhat of a hammer candle forming. Sometimes hammer candles on down pulls like this result in a move higher. Now, what I want to point out is just this trend line, which we'll get into here more on the 4-hour time frame. It's very important that we discuss that. But from a bullish perspective, if we do start going higher than 650, that could be a potential breakout area to get another leg, another move higher in this stock. Now, be very careful if you play a breakout in this current market environment, because sometimes breakouts can lead to false breakouts, and then you can have quick retracements. Now, given the monthly time frame and the weekly time frame that we went over, things can stay overextended for quite some time. And note that if we did get a breakout here, that means that we'd had further extensions on the monthly and the weekly time frame. So we got to be careful with that. Note the relative strength here. So if we do break above 650 in the near term future, it's going to do so on a negative divergence, so relatively weak strength. And then we have the MACD right here, kind of looking like it's kissing the signal line or kissing this, just about to cross over. So it's kind of not a bearish cross yet, just call it a bear kiss. 4-hour time frame, 240-minute candles, okay? Each candle represents 4 hours. What I want to point out here is just the potential for a head and shoulders. Now it's kind of angled slightly. So notice this trend line right here. We pointed that out on the daily, but now you can see some more structure on the 4-hour candles, or even the hour candles. You can see this as well. But a break below that can send us into this kind of target area that I mapped out from, 490 to about 530 zone. The reason why I have it there is just simply because that would make sense for a breakdown from this trend line, and then you'd have some more support here. And if we start breaking through those levels, we'd have to come back to this to find out where the next support would be at. Now, let's look at some more closer term ranges. So let's look at the 30-minute to do that. We're going to look at resistance and support. Currently, as of this recording, this is where we stand on the 30-minute time frame. I'm just mapping out a couple areas of resistance and then obviously the support. So 605 looks like a solid area of support. Why do I think that? Well, over here we gapped above it and it held and we started moving higher. So once we got above this level, we saw some very strong strength. All right. But then we started coming down, and notice how we gapped way down here, and then we came back and we see a lot of rejection candles right here until we broke above. Then we retested, then we came up, and then we back once again, false breakdown, but then we recovered. So right here seems to be a lot of strength, and then also right here, boom, tapped it today, 605. Now, another thing that I want to point out is notice the high points here. You have a high here, a high here, a high here, and then currently a high right here, which could be higher by the time you watch this recording potentially. But what I want to call out here is just notice the trend. We have lower highs, okay? Think of stair steps stepping down, and you see the relative strength kind of slowly drifting off too as well. So right now it's chopping sideways, but it's making lower highs. Yes, one could argue that it's also making higher lows. So this could be just compressing before a potential bigger move. But the levels to watch out for, one is 625 for resistance. Notice resistance here and support here, support here. Once support is broken, it then becomes resistance. So we're running into that little level right here. You can see that on the previous 30-minute. Maybe we'll break above that and then continue head higher. We'll probably see resistance at 640. And then the next area of resistance is going to be, let's just call it 650 for rounding purposes. Notice how when we broke up, we got rejected there, came back, rejected, came over here, rejected, and now we're starting to put in those lower highs. All right, so from a trading perspective, you can play these specific levels. You can, one, play breakouts, or you can play back tests. Either way you look at it, make sure that you trade with tight stop losses in place, because at any moment's notice, you can have some very aggressive selling. And also keep in mind, if you're holding overnight, to be very careful because of the gaps. For example, say if you were to buy right here on this specific day, and then you wake up and you have a stop loss right below this support line, but then you wake up and it gaps down and opens right here at 575. Your stop loss would get triggered and your sell order would be triggered here, resulting in from 605 to about, let's just call it 575. So a big drop there by holding overnight. So you got to be very careful of that. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you on this Tesla stock analysis. If you guys want to see more videos like this, just let me know. Just let me know. I can do multiple different stocks, or maybe just do viewer recommendations. I'm still trying to work out this channel, figure kind of where I'm going with everything. And it's really, I'm being guided by what the viewers want to see. So appreciate all the support. Make sure to like and subscribe. Talk to you all later.